All right, my friends. Good morning. Welcome to this morning magnetism session. We'll get started just as soon as we note some of those cues. Again, some of the cues you'll be hearing is a lift of that pelvic floor. So the muscle from your pubic bone back to your sits bones, that sling that sits at the base of your pelvis. A nice light lift there. A tuck of the chin, subtly, you'll hear that cue as well. And then, of course, that breath hold. We'll be holding the breath a handful of times throughout this magnetism session. And when you inhale, you could either clamp down on the breath. That's not what we're going for. You're looking for an inhale and to just hold the breath open to relax the body. We're going to do that so we don't create too much pressure in the head. All right, we'll begin with the invocation. If you know it, do it. If you don't know it, just listen along. So rub the palms of the hands together, create some heat. Or just bring the hands to the sternum. Inhale. Exhale fully. And the eyes soften down, the spine finds its integrity. Inhale. The breath out. Begin the invocation here. Inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Hold that breath open at the top. Light lift of the pelvic floor, the face, the mind, the shoulders soften. And then exhale. Beautiful. Hands come to the ankles or the shins. First movement is that sternum lift. So inhale, the chest lifts forward. And then exhale, it returns. So and as you do this, your chin will stay tucked so that your jaw stays nice and equal with the floor. And as you land on your rhythm, could be quicker or slower than mine, you'll just remember that you're looking for a strong rhythmic breath and not the deepest stretch necessarily. Just like that, as you continue here for not all too much longer, less than a minute. Your forehead, your eyes smooth. Down the bridge of your nose, out across your cheeks, relaxed. You'll notice that as you lift the sternum forward and then return, that your pelvis just rocks subtly. Beautiful. And as you finish this last little bit here, with those eyes softly closed, the spine tall, like you're being lifted by the tops of the ears, you'll just find that your inner gaze starts to draw toward where your nose meets your forehead. Inner gaze at that inner focal point. Good. Last few moments here. Now, gorgeous. Inhale. Keep that sternum lifted forward. The pelvic floor lifts. Hold the breath open with the mind. The eyes are soft. Good. And exhale, relax. Good. A few calm breaths. Chin subtle tuck so that back of the neck stays nice and lengthened. Empty out fully. Last inhale here. And the next movement, hands to the shoulders, forefingers in front, the thumbs are behind, the elbows are lifted lightly. Here before you move, it's that pelvic floor lift, that low belly tucks up and in, secure there at the base. And then you inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Beautiful. Settling into your rhythm. The head twisting with the shoulders. And again, not looking for the deepest twist, rather a strong rhythmic breath pattern here. That pelvic, that root lightly lifted, chin lightly tucked. Beautiful, as that inner gaze softens to that point where the nose meets the skull bone. And if you choose for the rest of this one, again, probably another minute here, just slightly more, you might start to lay the mantra onto the breath so that in your mind, every inhale says Sat and every exhale says Nam. Sat, Nam, true name. Beautiful. Looks great, Al. Keep it up. This posture here, bright, solid. But the mind, the face, soft. Good. Up. Good. And as you continue here, less than 30 seconds longer, that inner gaze soft to that focal point, pelvic lifted, chin subtle tuck. You continue to draw your life force, your vital force from your peripheral nervous system out there at the very edges where it's arrhythmic, dispersed, a bit chaotic, into your central channel here, where your life force is rhythmic, consistent, driven, potent, clear. Last few moments here. Finish strong. Sat Nam. Good. And now soon when I say inhale, you'll inhale to the very top and you'll hold this posture right in the center. So inhale. Pelvic lifted, elbows light lifted, but the sides of the neck, the face are calm. Good. Hold the breath open, sip a little bit more. And exhale, relax. Let that movement, let that posture, that breath just settle in for a few quiet breaths. Again, noting that anytime the head feels a bit too pressurized as you are drawing energy from the root, the base of the spine, up the spinal channel toward the brain, that at any time, if that feels a little overwhelming, just take that tongue right behind the top teeth, tap to the roof of the mouth, and just let that energy drop from the forehead, down through the throat, through the chest. Another option would be to just take your hand and place it over your forehead. Another inhale here. Empty out. Beautiful. Next movement, just a quick one. We will inhale, lift the shoulders, hands at the thighs here, and exhale, release like a good. Just like you're massaging out any of the tensions, any of the crunchies here up in the upper shoulders and neck. Every inhale is a strong lift. Every exhale is just a relax. Good. Like a Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam. Chin stays tucked. Last few moments. Inhale now, lift. Pelvic lift, mind calm. Exhale, relax. Either take your quiet breaths here or take a few neck rolls So that you inhale, the head drops back, and exhale, it drops forward. Just the skull moving atop the spine. Beautiful. Opposite direction on those neck rolls. Again, inhaling back. Exhaling forward. Last breath if you're there. And then come to stable center. Good. A breath or two for any movement that feels pleasant in your body. Before we go ahead and stand, we've got just 2 movements left, 2 kriyas left. This last one, our little Kundalini march that I've been liking so much. So come just stand on your feet. Your fingers will find the Gyan mudra, so the thumbs and the pointer fingers come to touch so that you make your little circles. Your 3 fingers are extended out strong. Find a focal point, a point to gaze at softly. Hands come near the shoulders. And as you inhale, it's a lift and lower. Beautiful. March it up. As you begin, you're like, nice, no problem. And then for me, pretty soon, it gets to the point where my mind is like, absolutely no more. Good. And so if and when you find that point, your task is to go further into the breath. Good. Just like that. Now as you reach, really reach, stretch through the armpits. Feel the armpits stretch. We're moving the lymph here. Exactly. Good. Sat Nam. Every lift. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Beautiful. Doing beautifully, friends. Continue. Chin stays subtle tuck. Face calm. Gorgeous. Now, if you're finding yourself arriving near that point where the mind feels resistant or distressed, again, can you travel deeper into the sound of the breath, stronger in the breath? Good, last little bit, you're almost done. Good. Last few cycles, stretching through the armpits on the reach, so good. Good, now soon when I say inhale, both feet will plant and you'll reach those fingers toward the ceiling. Good, inhale. Hold the breath, lift the pelvic, soften the mind. Inhale a bit more, stretch up. Exhale, relax. Good, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Gorgeous. All right, hands last. Sit yourself back down, have some water. Friends, so we're getting into the traditional, the ego eradicator, the aura charge. And again, this one is a posture like so with the breath of fire. And that breath of fire would be like that panting dog, like a. We're going to do it with our lips sealed. So it'll be through the nose like a. And we remember that as we're working with fire, right? The breath of fire, the fire element, the Agni. the element within us that creates our luminosity, creates our radiance, creates our magnetism, our brilliance. We want to work with its subtle form, not its aggressive form, right? So we soften that out into a, right, settling it out, softening it out, so that instead of raging, burning heat, fire, charring things, it becomes its subtle form, its luminous nature, its magnetic nature. So that's what we'll be thinking about today. So ladies, fingers toward the palms, thumbs extended out. Take the arms up to 60 degrees, just like this. Beautiful. Just a subtle lift in the pelvic floor, nothing crazy now. Inhale. Breath of fire, begin. Just like that, good. Again, your rhythm could be quicker or slower than mine. Your chin, it's subtle tuck. Your face calm, that inner gaze, again, returning to its focal point again and again. And maybe finding that at first you really hit that rhythm on the exhale. But then if you've got that rhythm on the exhale, can you start to equalize the in and out breath? So the inhale is just as strong as the exhale. Gorgeous. You're already a minute in. You're kicking ass. Again, you may find that point in this next minute and a half, 90 seconds, where your mind says, no, no more distress. Now, if you can, go deeper into the breath there, softer into the mind there, back to the focal point, back to the mantra, right? Sternum, Sternum. If you do find that you need to come out of the posture, can you stay with the breath then? So beautiful. We are working with your staying power here. The posture bright, strong, soft, regal as you continue, less than a minute longer. As always, we recall that there are times your body, your system would like to close, would like to hide, would like to quit. And in here, we train your openness, your receptivity. We tone your system so that through challenge, you remain open, you remain deep, you remain present, you remain brilliant, magnetic. Good. Last little bit here. New sensations arriving soon as your magnetism, which beams between your two thumbs, begins to beam out into the space in front of you. Your magnetism beaming out into the space behind you. Good. Into the space at your left, the space at your right, your magnetism up into the space above you, into the ground below you. Good. Last few moments here. Good. Now inhale. Thumb tips come to touch overhead. Fingertips reach toward the ceiling. Inhale a bit more. Lift that pelvic floor. Reach up. Stretch the spine. Reach up. A little bit more. Good. And exhale. Sweep the fingers through the auric field. Hands rest. A few quiet breaths. The tip of the tongue finds the roof of the mouth just behind the teeth. So tip of the tongue behind the teeth. As your own little personal sun arrives just in front of your forehead. And you smile just at the corners of your eyes or your mouth as the sun beams warmth from your forehead down through your tongue. Warmth seeping down through your throat, through your collarbones, down through your chest, your heart, your sternum. That little smile as this warmth drips down through your sternum into your solar plexus, into your navel center, your elixir field, the lake of your magnetism here at the navel center. Rub the hands together, create some heat, take the palms to the sternum. We close with 3 Satnam, join or listen. Inhale. Satnam. 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 Inhale. And exhale, sigh it out. Gonna take the hands, give them a little shake. And ladies, if at any point during this morning or this day you find that your head again has a little bit too much juice up there, just take that tongue again and sensate that sun, that warmth going from the forehead down. Or take the fingers and just press that energy down toward the navel center. All right, friends, thank you so much for being present for this morning magnetism session. Always a pleasure. See y'all soon.
Thanks, Elle. That's great.
Thank you. Love you.
So too.